What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Buzz Club, where we talk about pop culture, things going around on campus, and everything in between. I'm Amadou. So we're gonna have everybody else introduce themselves.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jordan. I currently study mass communications, and I'm a sophomore here at DSU.
My name is Zay. I major in mass comm and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Darren. I major in mass communications and I'm a freshman.
My name is Khayri. I'm a freshman. I major in business.
All right. Well, today we're just gonna get right into the topics, man. I feel like we should start about what events unfolded during this campus over the last couple of weeks. It's been a lot of things revolving around sexual assault and things of that nature. So I want to get you guys' opinions, what you guys experienced during that week, and how you felt about the whole thing. We're gonna start our weekend.
I remember when it first started out. If I'm not wrong, it started off on an app called SideChat. Everybody started saying their stories, and they all kind of sounded too similar, and the same people, and that's what really started everybody to get upset, which led to having a town hall meeting. But what led to the protest was because Tony Allen, our president, and the the campus police weren't at the town hall meeting, which made everybody a little upset because they felt disrespected, which led to the protest, which led to another town hall meeting, and led to just a lot of outcomes on campus.
I feel like the protest needed to happen because you can see a lot of females expressing how they feel that this has been going on for years and they haven't done anything to fix it. Like you can see females like shouting during protests, cussing, showing all their anger. Well, I didn't go to the protest, but I seen lives and they were just heated about the whole situation. They're talking about how they need buzzers around the building. Why is there no buzzers? Why is there no police cars? Because if there was a party, they would have shut that down. But if there was a sexual assault going on, they wouldn't have done anything about it.
Really, like, and to your point, Darren, it's like, what took so long for, you know, Tony Allen to come say something? Because it's like, that's been going on for quite some time. And, that pains me to see, especially the guys that do it. And it's like, why? That's messed up. You're really traumatizing, your victim. It's just shame on you if you do that. It's not right.
Yeah. Me personally, I went to the protest, and it was very intense. There was a lot of people that was upset and a lot of people that was angry. I think what I'm more upset about though is like we just had an incident. I'm not gonna get into no details, but like even after all the protests and stuff, like that's still not cool. Like we still not getting it.
Definitely.
Feel me? So,
Yeah, it's just very upsetting. Definitely all the things that's happening, and it sucks that it took all of this for Tony Allen and all them to have these town hall meetings to really like step up and actually do something. But I'm happy that the entire school seemed like came together to really fight for this. Came together for all the victims. And having what we did in town hall meetings and everything. I feel like there's still a lot more that needs to be done, but I'm glad that we're taking a step in the right direction with this situation.
I think the sad part of it all was the fact that after every story, it ended was the person still on campus. Nothing was necessarily done. They didn't go to jail. They weren't expelled. They usually still on campus roaming, so which leaves the survivors to be on campus just scared or for them to just have to leave because they don't feel comfortable on the campus. And Tony Allen, he got a lot of heat. The protest, I feel like I'm gonna call it a peaceful protest because nothing got damaged. To me, it was peaceful. I was there. It just was a way for everybody to kind of let their stories be known, call out what they got to call out. It didn't come to a point where everybody kind of got real aggressive because Tony Allen didn't want to come speak to them. So they had to kind of force themselves into the admin building just to speak to him that day because he wanted to postpone it till tomorrow on his own time, which I can understand because 9 times out of 10 he was going to have some fabricated responses and sentences just to make sure everybody feel comfortable the whole time. He has no solutions to what's been going on, and it needs to be something done. Even at the town hall meeting, a lot of people said that they feel like nothing was done. They said what they had to say, but at the end of the day, they didn't feel like they was heard for real.
But I will say justice has been served because some of the people, I got emails that some of the students that did it did or are in custody. That's a good sign. As what you say, Kyrie, some guys are still around on campus that did it. It's just, that's not cool. It's not right.
I just feel like it's even scarier because there's some incidents where some of the people didn't even go to the school. So how do y'all feel about like safety on campus? Do y'all feel safe?
I somewhat feel safe, but it's like it can happen. Like, sexual assault can happen to men too. But sometimes at night when I do walk, I do sometimes think I might get mugged or just something. But at times, I don't really feel scared all the time. Sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's a problem. Like, how are the gates so easy to get into? Like, people can just slip through in the gates to get into school. There's like no cops standing there. You can just drive in here with ease without checking your ID. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me at all.
Necessarily, I've never really felt safe. I don't really feel safe unless I'm in my home because that's how I am. But on campus, you still feel a type of uneasy. We in the middle of nowhere. Phones barely work. And campus police, all they kind of do is ride around in them charges all day, just kind of speeding. They don't really do they don't do their job. They not patrolling as they supposed to be. They quick to shut down a party. Homecoming, it was Army where they shut it down. But when it comes to any type of like anything going like an incident, they kind of drag their feet. They kind of give you the runaround. They don't do their job, and I feel like it's sad because that just shows if they don't do it for the women, they're not going to do it for the men for real. So the students kind of got each other, which it's a blessing, but it's still a curse at the same time because we shouldn't have to come to each other for a fear. We're on a campus. We give y'all I can't find the word. We put our trust into y'all, so y'all should be able to. We feel we trust y'all.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, sometimes they don't even protect the women. So imagine how the men gonna feel too.
Yeah.
But I mean, safety on this campus really does need to be improved. I feel like there's a lot of things that they can do to do that, but they're not. So it is what it is. I guess at this point, I just hope that they could see what if it was your wife or you had a daughter who went to the school and it happened to them. How would you feel about that? I mean, you're supposed to be our protectors, so they should take that due diligence to give a little extra because there's a lot of times you can ride through the gate, you see an officer sleeping, you're on the job, like this is your job. Or
Amadou, it's like, or sometimes you come in and it's like they have the gate wide open. Where's the security? Where's the safety? Exactly. Anybody could just walk in. Some guy could just walk in with an AR-15. Just
you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't even know.
Exactly.
They'll let a random car in, but when somebody Uber Eats or somebody needs something, now you gotta come to the front.
Yeah, exactly.
They real aggressive for that, but when it's anything else, anybody can walk through. It's cool. Well, do y'all think that y'all have any solutions? Y'all think the school should do anything like that?
I feel like they should allow women to carry tasers, pepper spray. I feel like that definitely is something they should allow women to do. You can talk about what's a weapon they can use in other ways, but at the end of the day, they have to protect themselves. I mean, if your officers, your security is not going to do it, they have to take matters into their own hands. So I feel like that's a step in the right direction. If you don't want to allow them to have a taser, at least pepper spray, at the very least. Something to defend themselves with is definitely what they need.
I feel like the officers should. Well, I feel like anybody that has to carry, but also officers should have a background check. They all need background checks. They all need psychological evaluations, mental things like that. And they need them they need them a lot. They need to also check up on these officers. I ended up hearing, actually, this was a fact. One of the officers were throwing out reports and just kind of throwing them out, not really taking the care he's supposed to have for them. That kind of shows that they weren't hiring the right people. And now and it also is only one woman officer throughout the whole campus. That's not, it's I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just not right at all.
No, it's like, not to mention, guys, the officer that was smirking through it all. What's his name? Officer Masseuse, something like that. It's like, if you're smiling about something like that, you're just as bad as the person who did it. It's just like a person that's watching somebody getting bullied, you're just laughing about it.
It's a slap in the face to everybody there. That it kind of hurt. Like, you can't touch him, but it's like, why are you just sitting here smiling? Like, it's just a cool little thing. We're out here because we're actually scared. You're supposed to protect us, and you're sitting there smiling.
To go off what Khayri was talking about as far as solutions, I feel like a solution could be more security in Tubman. I just feel like it's not enough security, especially late at night. I just see a bunch of people walking around, especially in the building I live in. that don't really make me feel safe, but it's nothing I can really do about it. So just more security in the buildings. I feel like that would be a good solution.
At the end of the day, I just wish they just took things more seriously. Like you talk about throwing reports and everything. I mean, sexual assault is not something to play with. Like that's a real thing. That's very dangerous, very scary. It's very traumatizing. So I feel like the cops, everybody should just take it more serious.
And also, before it's wrapped up, I just want to make it clear: sexual assault, sexual harassment, rape. You know the signs when it's a no, flat out no, denied. Once it's a no, you stop. That's it. That's all. It's nothing more to it. It's no rocket science. You know when somebody's uncomfortable. You know when a no is said. Chill out. Stop. Go home. Do what you gotta do. But just don't. That's it.
But just to sway the topic, moving on, we're talking about HBCUs, things that happen on campus. We can talk more about that. Our college students, college athletes, at that HBCU college athletes, just going to be honest, some of them don't get the recognition they deserve, in today's society. And it's sad. You look at the NFL, you can name on, a hand how many HBCU athletes there are. Now, there's been more and more, highly touted athletes that have gone to HBCUs, like we've seen recently Jackson State. Mickey Williams out in basketball, he was talking about, going to an HBCU. He chose Memphis, but still, that recognition is deserved. How do you guys feel about the lack of recognition for HBCU athletes? And do you see like a solution, or do you see like a solution to that?
I feel like it's sad because 9 times out of 10, you hear anyone like an athlete that wants to go to college, they have to go to a PWI because they know they won't have the correct resources, they won't have the correct push, anything, because it just won't happen like that. Sadly, because you go to an HBCU, they have the money, but then they may not have the recognition. You go to PWI, they all have the connections, they have all of that, so it's easier to just go there. And then you're taking away that experience that somebody could have had. Even the basketball players, any player here that does want to go D1, they're taking their own risk, you could call it, because they won't have that. They won't have that push that you would get at PWI. And I feel like it's sad. And I feel like the solution is and also I feel like what they do with TV, they kind of have a couple black players. Same thing with HBCUs. They're going to throw in a couple HBCU players. Oh, somebody from Jackson State, somebody from Clark. They went here so we can say we're inclusive. It needs to be some y'all need to actually go to these places and look at these kids. It's a lot of talented people. I understand it's hard to choose from, but stop kind of like, like making a rope shorter in a way. Extend the rope. I don't know how to explain it, but
It really is like when you talk about Division I football, everybody talks about Clemson, everybody's talking about Alabama, everybody's talking about Georgia. Nobody really talks about Jackson State. Well, people started talking about Jackson State once Deion got there, but it's like before that, Jackson State, who were there, right? Yeah. It's like nobody talked about Grambling, nobody talked about Southern, nobody talked about us at Delaware State. So it's just like, as you said, Khayri, it's a risk that Division I athletes have to take, coming to an HBCU and trying to get some shine. But now with Division I football, we see the HBCU Legacy Bowl. So now it's good to see, black people coming from HBCUs getting the, shine, and the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, I would say like a lot of these kids want to go to the league. Like people want to go to the NBA, they want to go to the NFL. So I feel like the higher up schools like Duke, North Carolina, all of them, they can get you there. They can get you in the building. They can get you with the right people. So it's kind of like a no-brainer because like, would I go to Duke or would I go to Del State? You feel me? So I feel like a good solution would be to like have more 5-star recruits come to HBCUs, take that risk. You feel me? Even though it's going to be uncomfortable, but hey, I feel like that's the solution we need.
And also, you talk about going to Duke and everything. That comes with risk as well because you're going to be competing with other guys.
Right.
Whereas if you went to an HBCU that's a D1 school, if you're a top prospect, you're going to be getting a lot of the shine. So you can put up, great stats, which could help you in the draft and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's another thing as well.
So not to mention, there's actually a guy who plays on the LA Rams by the name of Jacoby Durant. He played at South Carolina State last year. Yep. So it was like, wow, that's good to see finally somebody from an HBCU getting some recognition that you don't normally see. And I believe like Travis Hunter is able to get to the NFL, I feel he will get more recognition. But now he transferred to Colorado.
Yeah, there's somebody else. James Houston, he went to Jackson State too. He had a crazy rookie year this year as well. So for the Detroit Lions, so like you said, slowly but surely we, getting our names, HBCUs getting their names back into the NFL, back into the NBA, which is definitely very, very good to see.
Yeah, I agree. Like teams in the SEC and Pac-12, they get way more recognition than HBCU schools do. Like you see more 5 stars and 4 stars going to Pac-12 colleges, SEC, but when it comes to HBCU, like you don't see a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars coming here. They don't get the recognition they deserve. Like they work hard to get here, just like other schools that are higher up work hard to get here.
Really, I wish that HBCU games, especially from the football standpoint, well, basketball gets TV time too, but I really wish that HBCU football got more TV time, like national TV, like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU. We shouldn't wait till the last game of the HBCU season, the celebration bowl between Jackson State and North Carolina Central. I mean, glad North Carolina Central got the win, representing the MEAC. But yeah, you shouldn't wait till the last game of the season just for HBCUs to get some recognition. Like, where you been at all season? You've been missing the action because you've been so worried about PWI's, been so worried about what Stetson Bennett's been doing. He's so worried about what.
And I think the sad part is like, as a person of color in the PWI as it is, you have to work 10 times harder. So I could just imagine coming to a black school and then not coming to as a popular black school, you could call it. You have to push, and then you have to be your own media. You have to be your own hype man. It comes with a lot in the territory. I mean, it's not. You have to work harder than most, and to just even still maybe 1 out of 100 will make it. Yeah, and you just have to have that in the back of your mind all the time. It's just probably I could just imagine how tiring it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think another thing that could happen is we gotta, reach out to the NFL players or NFL stars because they could have more recognition towards the HBCUs. We've seen the impact that Deion had in a couple seasons he had at Jackson State. Now Jackson State is a household name. A lot of people know that school. Ed Reed, he was supposed to go to an HBCU to coach as well. Things fell through because of funding and such like that. But could you imagine some of these top retired NFL players went to go coach for some of these HBCUs? Like imagine if like a Terrell Owens or Calvin Johnson, if Randy Moss went to go coach, that'd be crazy. If you're a 5-star recruit, 5-star receiver, you'd want to go to learn from one of the best. If you're a 5-star cornerback, you'd want to go learn from one of the best. 5-star quarterbacks, you want to go learn from some of the best. So that's another thing as well. But on the topic of football, basketball, sports, anyway, the Super Bowl is coming up really, really soon. And for that halftime show, we're going to have Rihanna. She's back. Rihanna back singing, I guess, had her baby with A$AP, which is pretty good. And then Beyonce as well. She had her tour, her worldwide tour that happened. So what you guys thought about that? You guys in tune to that?
Really, it's like once I saw the ticket prices, I was like,
yeah.
Really? It's like, I saw for the Beyonce concert, one of them, it was like $500 just for the lowest tier ticket. And then like the highest tier ticket, the lowest tier was like, I think 1,000 or like 2,000. So it's like, can people afford it?
Yeah.
Yes, maybe if you're fortunate enough, but it's just I don't think most people will be able to go. And it's like if you are spending money on the cheapest ticket, it's going to be way up in the arena, way up in the stadium. It's like so you're going to be watching the whole time on the jumbotron.
Exactly.
So you might as well wait till it gets released on Netflix.
Exactly.
Whole time, the prices for Beyonce is all alleged, but lowest is $60, highest is $2,500. She charging rent prices for a lot of these seats, and I'm not saying she's not a good performer. It's a nice experience. But then she did it first day with rent's supposed to be due. Rent due, people just now having to scrape their money up, and you want people to pay $2,500 for a ticket is crazy. Rihanna nosebleeds is $5,000. That's not even a real price. I checked that nosebleeds like $5,000. $5,000 for the Super Bowl, yeah. Wow. I'm not gonna lie to you. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. Y'all go ahead.
$5,000 for nosebleeds is crazy. You might as well stay home. Say that $5,000.
Might as well stay home.
You're going to be watching on, like you said, the Jumbotron anyway.
Exactly.
So what's the point?
So you're going to need money for bills. You're going to need money to
Exactly.
eat. So it's like, are you going to spend it on a Beyonce or Rihanna ticket, or are you going to spend it on the Centrals?
Exactly. A lot of craziness, man. A lot of craziness. Got anything else to say?
Hey, I can't really speak on Rihanna and Beyonce, but I'm gonna just say go Eagles.
Okay.
Oh, we winning this joint.
Was any at the Eagles game? Did any of y'all go to Philly for the Eagles, anything like that?
I didn't go.
But I saw Broad Street was going crazy. After
I was in Philly at the time. Broad Street
Yeah.
was.
I can just
I'm
imagine.
already know it.
If they win, I can just imagine
I don't really like Eagles fans, but like I respect their plays. Like their players are respectable. But Eagles fans, they just gotta whack sometimes. Like I don't know what's wrong with them.
I respect the fans. A lot of them, I even saw on Twitter a car. It was an accident on the way to the game, and so they wanted everybody to get to the game. Everybody got their cars, pushed the car onto his side, out the way, so everybody could get to the game. It was honestly, even the cops kind of let them, like they let the 50 people be free. Like I was at Temple, I didn't go outside, but I was at Temple, and so I could see everything that was going on Broad Street. The cops kind of just let everybody have their fun. They was dancing, they was trolling the cops too, but they was like having their own little party. And if that was just the win, I can imagine Super Bowl. I can imagine it's just going to be, it's not going to be right. But
It's gonna look like 2018 again.
It's gonna be real crazy, definitely real crazy. But sticking on the topic of artists, we got to talk about the biggest case that's going on right now, the Young Thug case. Recently, Gunna was freed, still obviously on probation and everything like that, but he was released from prison, and a lot of people was questioning how he was released because it was stated that he is a big part of the whole Rico case, and he's gotten a label as a snitch. So I just want to know what y'all thoughts are on that. Your opinions changed on Gunna, or you think even the snitch allegations are true?
For one, I feel like I'm not really like into the snitching and all that, for real. So I'm gonna still listen to Gunna's music. It don't really change nothing for me. You feel me? That's just my thoughts.
as a civilian, I'm a blast Gunna music wherever I go. You don't pay this Apple Music, no, you pay this car, no. I'm a blast Gunna music. I don't think he's a snitch, even though 9 times out of 10 you came home a little early. Something happened, but by all means, I feel like they kind of know what's going on. They've been tracking Young Thug for a minute. I know he's on RICO charges. RICO charges is basically like a gang affiliated type, which most likely has narcotics and things of that nature in it. And I feel like they not giving Young Thug they're not giving him no type of anything. Like they wanted him. They've been watching him, so they don't want him to be free. They keep pushing his cases. They kind of like give him another round. He even had an incident in court when somebody handed him type of drugs. That's all set up. We know that, but they not giving him room to breathe. And I feel like people is getting on Gunna, but like if they doing that to Young Thug, dislike him. Why wouldn't they do the same to him?
Right.
And I feel like in my personal stance, if Young Thug did know what was going on with Gunna, I feel like he a real for that, because why all y'all gonna go down?
Exactly.
Y'all could go do what y'all gotta do for me, while I hold it down for how long I gotta do.
Yeah.
People.
Really, I want to say like Gunna was kind of suspicious that he got out a bit early. I was like, what are you doing in the interrogation room that we don't know about?
I mean, let's all be honest. If you were a millionaire as popping as Gunna is, and they give you the opportunity to be free, come on.
Yeah, you taking it every time.
Let's be honest.
I feel like this is all just one big lesson. I feel like you should definitely watch out who you hanging around, because they definitely influence you in different ways, many ways.
Gunna, he got caught up just for hanging with him.
Yep.
Because all them charges go way back to when Gunna was lit.
Yep.
So just because they was real close, they like, well, you too then. You was with him, so we gotta get you too. And whoever was with you, that's crazy.
Like you said, they get caught up. I mean, Young Thug, it was how many people? 30-some people in there? You think 30 people gonna keep quiet? Come on. That's crazy.
I feel like they all know what they talk. They know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
got the money to spread around information, do what you gotta do. So they know. I feel like they know what's going on. So as spectators, we may not know what they're doing, but I feel like they all got it.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of little kids that's also saying Gunna's a snitch. He'll be okay.
Yeah, like I feel like snitching, like most people don't like it, but like some people will be snitching for the right reasons. But I feel like I'ma still blast Gunna's music. I know everyone in this room will still blast his music, even if he's snitched. Like 6ix9ine was a snitch, and you see people still blasting his music.
I still play his music. I don't care. 6ix9ine, it's nothing with him.
Well,
He was smart.
I don't play it now, but back then I definitely was listening to 6ix9ine, even though he was a snitch. Like,
Just how I say Gunna, 6ix9ine was smart with it. They all played on him. They played with him. Stole money from all that.
Yeah.
I would have snitched.
yeah,
I'm still a snitch. I'm a civilian. I'm a snitch regardless.
like when 6ix9ine got out, you saw what happened when he got on live. He got millions of views. Like that's crazy to me. Like most people would not bother to even look because it's like, oh, you're a snitch. Like we don't trust you in the streets anymore. You're not valid.
He
That's
blacklisted.
tactics.
He blacklisted, and like anybody that's kind of around him kind of got like even Nicki Minaj, she still get that like pushback. You was with 6ix9ine doing songs when he snitched. I don't like you. I think a couple artists that was supposed to be cool with her just cut her off, all because of who she was affiliated with.
Not gonna lie, if I was in 6ix9ine's position, I wouldn't even want to show my face around. Cause just like, if you know that you have the reputation for being a snitch, it's not the best time to go out in public, show where you at, because things can escalate quickly.
But I think it's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all got any last words? Anything else to say?
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
What? Yo, y'all
Go
out of
Chiefs.
pocket.
Go Chiefs.
That was a question I was going to ask y'all, too. I was going to ask y'all, like, who did y'all want to win? And I knew one of y'all was going to say the Chiefs.
I'm gonna say go Eagles.
I don't care.
Eagles.
Never go
Eagles
Eagles.
I don't care about sports, but catch
Never
me on
go
Broad Street.
Eagles?
Never go Eagles.
What he doing?
Patrick Mahomes. Bring it home.
I'm just saying go Chiefs because I'm a Commanders fan.
I'm saying go Chiefs because I don't
What?
like the Eagles and I never will.
Oh, my gosh. We got haters in the building.
That's gonna do it for this one, y'all. Peace.
Peace.